If you would have told me that the first and most predominant celebrity death of 2020 was going to be that of Mr. Peanut, you know, the life-size peanut half man that wears a monocle and top hat, if you would have told me he was going to be the first death of the year, I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't seen the ad, Mr. Peanut drives the Peanut-mobile off of a cliff and then sacrifices himself.
Oh, look out! Oh, abandon that! Oh, we're too heavy. Oh. Mr. No!
It happens in like the span of 30 seconds. It's just ridiculous. The first time I saw this, my mind was blown. I couldn't stop laughing, and I had to watch it again to make sure I was actually witnessing what I was witnessing, a peanut falling off of a cliff to his death. And not only did they feature a commercial where their own mascot, Mr. Peanut, kills himself, they also posted this on Twitter. It is with heavy hearts that we confirm that Mr. Peanut has died at 104. In the ultimate selfless act, he sacrificed himself to save his friends when they needed him the most. Please pay your respects with Rip Peanut. An 104-year-old peanut jumped off of a cliff! And I forgot to mention, not only does he fall hundreds of feet to his death, but he also explodes.
Maybe he'll be all right.
There is no way he survived. He's dead. Mr. Peanut is dead. Or is he? There might be more to this Mr. Peanut death than we think. It might be a conspiracy. I have a few theories I want to go over that I've just been burning to talk about this whole Mr. Peanut situation. It's been keeping me up at night. I need to know what happened to him. First theory, Mr. Peanut didn't kill himself. It was a ploy by the government to get him killed. That armadillo was obviously planted in the middle of the road. They knew that Mr. Peanut would make sure to avoid it, to not kill it. Because, you know, Mr. Peanut is non-violent. He doesn't like to kill things. He's a peanut, obviously. But why would the government want to kill Mr. Peanut? What did he know that he deserved to die for? Did he know something about Jeffrey Epstein? Did Mr. Peanut know? I think so. Theory number 2. Mr. Peanut is still alive. Now, I know you're saying, Ian, there is no way that Mr. Peanut is still alive. He fell hundreds of feet and exploded. He has to be dead. He is now a roasted peanut. No, in fact, they cut away right before you saw him land. There is a chance that he did not reach the ground when he fell. My theory is that Mr. Peanut knew that this was going to happen. He knew he was going to crash, and he knew he was going to fall to his death. So he brought with him a parachute. Mr. Peanut parachuted at the last second to save himself. Most likely, he was hiding the parachute in his top hat.
Obviously.
And I believe they're going to make a second commercial revealing what happened to Mr. Peanut and where he is.
Theory number 3.
That wasn't the real Mr. Peanut. The Mr. Peanut we see in the Mr. Peanut commercial that features Mr. Peanut actually isn't the real Mr. Peanut. It's a double Mr. Peanut. Once again, Mr. Peanut knew that the FBI was out for him, and he found a double that looked exactly like him, and that double died. This is assuming that there are a race of half man, half peanuts living out there in this world. But let's not get into logic here. Theory number 4. Mr. Peanut's dead. As sad as this is to talk about, there is a chance that, listen, peanuts should not be driving vehicles, especially if they're shaped like giant peanuts. This was probably just a giant accident, just a tragedy that shouldn't have happened. Mr. Peanut is probably dead, and likely they are looking for a new mascot to feature in their Mr. Peanut commercials. I have a couple people in mind who could replace Mr. Peanut as the mascot for Planters Snack Food Company. Number 1, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is hot off the heels of his success in the Mandalorian show, the new Star Wars show that is out, and I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity for the Planters company to really bank off of his popularity. Wouldn't you want to see a little Baby Yoda in a peanut costume? I think that'd be adorable. I think another great candidate to replace Mr. Peanut would be GRETA Thunberg. She's also coming off the heels of her successful appearances in the news about her trying to save the world and climate change and the destruction of just the entire world in general, our downfall, but I feel like she would be a great mascot.
How dare you!
And last but certainly not least, another great candidate to replace Mr. Peanut as the mascot would be me.
Obviously.
It has been my dream since birth to wear a peanut costume and walk around prancing with a cane and top hat and a monocle talking about how I love peanuts. Did you not know this? Have I not talked about this on the channel? It's secretly always been a dream of mine.
Hey, you want some peanuts, kids? I can give you a peanut. Just check in my pockets. I've got plenty of peanuts for you.
You know, the world is just going through such a tragic time right now, and with the fires in Australia and the political corruption in America and the bombings and wherever, the worst thing that could have happened right now was the loss of a great American figure that is Mr. Peanut. And I am just so sad that this has happened. And I am at a loss of words for Mr. Peanut. And I wish his family the best, thoughts and prayers to them. And ultimately, I hope that we can overcome this tragic loss in all of our lives. We all know how important he was to our childhoods and to the future generations of this world. And ultimately, I just hope we can find someone that can replace that lost hope and those dreams that we all had. And I just miss him. He was like a dad to me.